I am King Kushy,
And I'm King Troof.
and we are sitting here today with my boy Sid, my childhood friend, and we want to introduce him today. Sid, let them know what your name is, and also let them know what your TikTok is.
All right, my name is Sidney Rigden. My TikTok is SydneyVicious44. You find my other handles at Sidney Vicious or Sidney Rigden.
There we go. And today we finna sit here and chit chat, and we only say we speak the truth around here. And what it is that we want to make sure we only talk about how we truly feel, and we don't give a fuck how nobody feels. So if you don't like it, don't listen. If you like it, love it, share it, promote. We got it. This is King Kushy podcast, and we have a video we want to put up of what Sid just put up today, and we want to watch it, and we're gonna talk about it.
Government health care and universal health care while we're at it. I'm a veteran of the Iraq War, and I've been going to the VA since about 2012. Despite having injuries to my body, PT is the best that the VA is going to give you. Following an injury I had on the fire department that ultimately led to me leaving the fire department was re-herniating a disc that I had gotten from the Army, and an MRI for that took 3 months. I am seeing and have seen multiple therapists and psychologists, and mostly good people, but none of them can really help me. You know why? Because the VA doesn't deal with certain diagnoses, because modern medicine states that some mental health problems only happen until a certain age, or they couldn't be diagnosed prior. Unlike parents that didn't know something may have been wrong with their child, as seen throughout the world, right? The VA does not offer these kind of services that a lot of service members need mentally. Not necessarily for a diagnosis, but just to understand why they think they were thinking different, or why they know they were thinking different. That's it. And if you're lucky, you can get put into a community care program, or they'll send you to a non-VA facility that can look into these issues. They do this for mental and physical. However, if you are by a large VA facility, such as Great Lakes or Milwaukee, then you are only given their options. So, is government-run healthcare great? Not by any means. Has it gotten better? Yeah, a little bit. Do the people that work there do good things, and are they good people? Yeah, they're fucking great. They really want to help. But it's the people above them that don't care, because all they want is money. And if you don't see it already, by Big Pharma running across America, spreading like wildfire, and what they've done and what they are billing and charging for, and their connections with hospitals and pharmacies. One way to combat this, something I was never really against or for, more unsure of, is universal health care. Not necessarily government run, still operating facilities independently, but this sets a standard. This stops allowing so much overhead from the hospitals and the pharmacies to charge so much more than they do. This sets more of it, think of it almost like a flat tax, right? I don't know if it's the right answer or not, but your veterans, your firefighters, your policemen, your nurses, the people that are important for making this cog machine run for real life stuff, teachers too, are not getting the help or care they need. But we're still sending billions and billions, and now hundreds of billions of dollars to foreign countries that are not helping us.
When you said medicine, I've been taking seizure medicine. This is the first time I say it, but I've been taking seizure medicine for like 11 years, bro.
Damn, okay.
And I can't wean myself off of that. Even no matter how much edibles I can take, or how much pot I can smoke, I can't wean myself. Yeah. Every time it happens, is boom, you didn't take your medication. And they didn't give me medication, bro, where I had to go back to the dentist to get tooth fixed, because they gave me medication for a 69-year-old who got dentures. And I had to look it up to realize I did right. My damn tooth bit over I took a bite of a sandwich, bro, and this shit said caca, and I'm like, a sandwich?
Oh.
Right, like, what's going on? So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I know. So I started looking into the toothpaste and mouthwash and all this other stuff. I'm like, nah, that seemed normal. Then I look into the medication, and it was like, this medication for a 69-year-old. So I had to go to the doctor. Why the fuck would you prescribe me this? Like, why would you prescribe me this knowing this is for a 69-year-old, knowing I ain't even 69? You want all my teeth? You want me to... Go ahead, bro.
Well, I will say, because I just finished 12 years work in medicine, you know, that like a lot of the medications we use for, especially for like seizure disorders, anxiety, like a lot of the medications we use in healthcare are the same couple medications. They probably just different milligrams, you know what I mean? Different dosages. So, that's crazy with the seizure stuff though, bro. And like, I hope you're do okay with it. And like, are you saying the edibles, you don't do enough edibles to combat it? And like, do you think over time you got such a high tolerance that THC doesn't help them, or it's just separate? Because our brains, I don't like big pharmacy obviously, but sometimes we do have imbalances in our brains that some of these medications do fix. You know, I really do believe that nature can fix a lot of shit, but we don't have the evidence to support that yet because we've been putting it in industry, right?
Yeah, I would say, okay, so when it comes to cannabis, you got to realize, like, CDC, CBN, CBD, this all just got introduced when everything became recreational. When it was medical, yes, I probably indulged in too much edibles. It wasn't you don't know what you was going to get, bro. They say 150, they might give you 250. They say it is, they might give you 300. You might eat 100 milligram brownie, it might be 10 milligrams. So it wasn't until it was Corova edibles. I ate my first, it was called a black bar. I ate my first 1,000 milligram brownies. And I ate it when the guy came in. I ate the shit like, man, this shit ain't gonna do nothing to me. Everything y'all talk about, you know, everything. It's a true story though. Everything y'all talk about, y'all be talking about these 100 milligram gummies and all that. Fuck that. I didn't understand what microdosing was at the time. You know, so they like, you know, microdose. Microdose my ass, man. I'm from Racine, Wisconsin. We get busy, man. We go 100 a hill, right? And after being in the marijuana industry so long, I was like, I ain't never met an edible that could knock me down. I ain't never met an edible that could fuck me up. And it was called a black bar. That shit, I ate that shit in the morning. I gave it to somebody else. I gave it to actually another a dude lead. His name was Jeff. I gave it to him. I gave it to Jeff like her, Jeff Hunt, because he was like too savvy. He was like a big white guy. I'm like, edibles eat up fat. I wanted to see if it eat up fat, so I gave it to Jeff. An hour later, he like, Nick, that shit didn't do nothing. So I was like, oh, they lying. Edibles supposed to kick 30 to 60 minutes. I said, these motherfuckers lying. They lying. That shit ain't work. So I ate the brownie. I forgot I'm 215. An hour later, I'm like, fuck. Right? I just remember this sound. Boop, boop, boop. You know how when you drunk, you don't remember when you're drunk. All you remember is boop, boop, boop. It's a signal to know you went past that shit. I was past it. I was like, hey, man. But I was at work, and I'm the boss. I can't leave. I'm like, oh, shit. I look at Jeff. He look at me. His eyes bloodshot red. He like, what the fuck did you give me? And I'm like, an edible. He like, how many milligrams? 1,000, man. That's what they said on the label. It's a sample. We're supposed to try it to see if we want to buy it. And he like, nah. This gonna kill somebody. I said, you right. Because I want to clock out and go home right now. And he said, yeah, me too. But we fucked up. We had a 12-hour shift that day. We supposed to be doing open closing. We had a 12-hour shift. Lunch was a buffet. We was sitting there on Grubhub. Man, let me get. We ordered pizza, chicken nugget, everything. Chicken wings. Shit we ain't supposed to be ordering. We ordered everything, and then when after it happened, after the end of the 12-hour shift, it went down. We got back to normal. We was like, that wave was pretty motherfucker good, don't you think? And he was like, yeah, but you shouldn't be at work with this shit, nigga. I said, shit. Even if we fuck up today, we did good.
That's a pretty good day at work, it sounds like.
It was a great day at work. I said, we did good. I'm supposed to be telling him no. I'm the boss. He's like, no, nigga. And I'm like, we gonna fuck up everybody tomorrow. Everybody got experiences. After that, Corova had. That's when after we did that shit, California came with the microdosing only 100 milligram edible, which means we ate 10 packs of edibles to feel this rage, man. This rage is going on. You know, we high as a motherfucker, but we count money slow. 20. They like, hurry up. Why don't you calm down, man? We can smoke some of this. That will help you calm down. Leave me alone. I'm trying to figure out this 100 or not. Hey, but I'm high as a motherfucker. 24 to 60. Got a couple 20s and some ones in here, man. I'm just gonna round this shit up. They're gonna have to do it. Yeah. And
I remember that one time I walked into work like that, and I had the calm gummies, right? So each calm gummy is only like 5-10 milligrams, right?
Did
so
10.
I was like, it was 10, right? So I had one day. Man, this ain't do shit. So the next day I did 2, one in each side. Still didn't do shit. So a day or 2 later, I took my wife out to breakfast about around 7 o'clock in the morning. About 9 o'clock, I popped in 2 here, 2 here. And for some reason, it didn't kick in until I clocked in at 12:30.
Yeah, right? I went to breakfast. That's what you're talking about, Salones.
Me and Johnny, we carpool there. So of course I didn't have my car, and that's when Moreno was like, "Hey Ray, take some of these flyers, go to the gym and pass them out." I can't. I'm stuck. I cannot move. He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, and literally, I'm standing against the register, like this is the best it's gonna be. I'm sorry, but the calm gummy was THC with a higher percentage of the CBD. That's what's supposed to balance you out. Well, being balance you out with 4 of them, it's not balancing shit. So that was the last time I had any sort of trip with gummies. But then there was that one time where me and Johnny went out to the Big Rock pub, and this motherfucker because he sold his average, so they gave him 100 milligram gummy. Instead of cutting it in pieces, he popped the whole thing.
Okay, we gave him 100. I gave him 100 milligrams at one gummy. Right.
Right.
I didn't know they was going to a bar. He ate the whole 100 milligrams of gummy. So Ray, proceed with your story. I'm just gonna say you that because at the end he gonna say, "You did this shit."
So we went. Well, I didn't know that you gave it to him. All I know is that he popped that thing, and I didn't know he popped it. I picked him up from the house. We went to the bar. It was a reggae show, and he usually has his 3 beers and he's good. He couldn't even get through his second beer. I'm like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you? So we walked outside, got some fresh air, and then kind of find out, he had 100 milligram gummy, and I'm just like, you motherfucker. And the thing about Johnny is, he's a big dude, but he doesn't know how to take care of himself. He can't fucking lift himself and move himself. So when he's passed out at the bar after not even a second beer, and I'm on one side of him and 2 security guards on the other side of him, dragging him out. And then I drive up, I took him to McDonald's, get something to eat, all that. This motherfucker woke up the next morning in his couch with his Coke on one side, trying to figure out what happened. I'm like, this is the reason why I don't want to fucking party with you no more, bro.
And they blame me. No, they both was co-workers. They blame me after they came back to work. It was your fault.
I mean,
no, I told you I don't remember it was you.
No, he said, I remember it's you. I was like, I didn't do nothing. Like, cause I had this thing where you hit your average, right? So if you hit 70 bucks, I give you a sample. You hit 80, I give you 2. You hit 90, I give you 3. You hit 100, I give you 6 plus something, which means that you're gonna smoke what I'm smoking. Which means if I get 32 samples, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna take 16 home. The other 16 right? I judge it who's going what. If the sales ain't going on, hey, y'all ain't smoking, y'all ain't gonna get it. Y'all never gonna hit it. So I'm just gonna take it home. Right? As it comes in, I'm gonna get the 1 and 2 shit. He'll tell you, people come in and be like, you want a sample, yada yada yada, nigga. I'm like, yeah, I want it all. We give you 32 edibles, 32 this, 32 this, 24 this, this. I'll take it all. And he'll tell you in your face. No, he'll tell you in your face. I'll walk out with a bag full of shit and look you dead in your face and be like, hit your average. I'll give you half of that bag. Listen, go make a sale, man. Go out there and try. Give me your hardest day at work, and I guarantee you. And he did it a lot. So a lot of people was mad because they thought he was like, I want that half a bag. I want a bag too, Nick. Go do it.
No, the difference between me and everybody else was I didn't care if I hit that average. I cared about customer service. Yeah. So when you care about customer service and you end up hitting, because let's say you came into the shop, I don't care about the $70 average. I'm gonna just give you the best service I can give you.
Right.
And eventually you're gonna hit 100. You're probably gonna spend $200 just because of the fact that I was nice to you.
Oh right, yeah, 100%. Yep.
So you do that times 20 people, you're gonna hit a good average.
Oh right. People don't realize,
the problem
dude.
is
fucking moving product, or not. You know what I mean? But like just people being.
It's not about the product. It's about how you deal with the person.
Bro, I tell you this, yeah, it's you how you is as a person, bro. It ain't about
right.
Because at the end of the day, I want to hear your side of it because I want to know what it feel like for you to go, like, let's say you go to California and you go to a marijuana dispensary. What is your experience?
Or you go to Michigan.
Yeah, or you go to anywhere there's a dispensary. Anywhere you can go get legally weed from.
Mm-hmm.
And not that one on Main. That's selling that THC.
Oh.
Yeah, not that one on Main that sell that THCA. Right? That's basically a CBD. We talking about something that Gucci high, right?
Right. So
go ahead.
Well, from what I know, that the THCA, and you're probably going to school me in a lot of this, but what they said they got away with passing the Farm Bill, THCA is the pre-product of THC, which is the legal, which is the weed itself, right? And so Wisconsin has THCA and whatever, and honestly, there's some of the shit originally, like when I was on the ambulance, like Delta, no, not the Deltas, K2, shit like that, like that stuff. Yeah. The synthetic shit that did make people gonk out and stuff like that. But like, yeah. I don't know, Illinois, most people don't like Illinois. Most people go straight they'll drive 3 hours to Michigan because it's a quarter of the price. But,
hey, you know what? You know what you gotta look at? Your state tax. You gotta look at what the state qualified for. If you think Wisconsin gonna get better prices than Michigan, guess what? No, sir. No, sir. And I'm coming from California. I'm telling you, Minnesota, everything. Because I already heard that if I go out there and I want to go buy 10, 20 pounds, I got to go through Michigan. And then they're going to stop me in the end unless I go above top. And it's like, and I heard the stories. At the end of the day, I'm like, if I was Wisconsin, I would just take it and make it cheaper.
Right.
And because it lowers down everything, health issues, crime, violence, all types of stuff they don't want to discuss. If people know they can legally smoke weed and barbecue at home, you already know what type of party it's finna be. Me and you from Wisconsin, we know. Yeah. Let me get and put some fire. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, look at the DARE programs and shit like that, and the way that I never liked weed because my dad was a junkie, so I was just like, I don't need it. I didn't care. I didn't mind people that did it. I didn't like it because I didn't want to do it. And I always found a problem with people that are better at life with it, or more artistic, or more just feel better or whatever, and they do it, and that's okay, but the government still shuns it, and they continue to now, and it's like, well, what are we doing? What's medicine? What's not? Because this shit has been around for so long, and
years.
It's been, it helps so many people. It's just mind-boggling.
Hey, Hey, and when you say, so I'm gonna tell you, I went to school for psychology. So when you say you did psychology and I did psychology, we connect on a different level. It's something about our energy that make us always been since middle school, right here. See, and people will say, there's some people be like, you wouldn't see it. You know, there's some people like, and they'd be like, nah, we've been actually like this for years. Since middle school. I remember when I first moved back from California. Cause I already knew Gibbs and all, even Alex. I knew Alex since I was a baby. Yeah. So when I met you was 7th grade, and I was like, I don't know why, but since 7th grade, I started thinking about it. Since 7th grade to 11th, me and Skip ain't never had no situation. Yeah, we always talked. We always been around each other. We never was like separated. You played football, cause we was a powerlifter too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. You was a powerlifter, you played football. I played basketball. And I remember even in middle school when they had that little toughness we had to get.
We clicked in middle school. We were just cool. Like, we were on the same energy, It was like me and Alex weren't even friends in 6th grade, dude, and he sent Adam Gibbs to fight me in the bathroom. I don't remember why, because we didn't like each other. But then me and Adam ended up not fighting, and then me and Alex became best friends, and we still are, which is,
And guess who was in that bathroom?
Were you?
I was right there. Yes, y'all forget. Yes. Yes. When I came back, that's why I said it was like 6th and 7th grade when we met. I keep saying 7th, but I'm like, I remember sitting in the bathroom with Gibbs. I know Gibbs, Alex gonna tell you, like, we've been jerseyed like babies.
Yeah.
It was babies.
Yeah.
I went up to California and I came back. When I came back, I'm like, man, dude look like Gibbs. Dude look like Alex. And then this. And I was telling Ray this story. I said, man, I remember people kept trying to see it, and he wasn't the one you wanted to try. Because I seen that happen, and I'm like, okay. And then I seen you beat up some of my friends, and I was just like, in middle school, Sid?
Which ones were your friends, though?
I don't think they was my real. They were my. Okay, I'm gonna take that back.
They all started it either way.
No, they actually. When I first came back to Wisconsin, me and my brother Eric would tell the story. When we first came back to Wisconsin, we got on the bus. We went to Jersey. When we got back off Jersey, everybody from the north side, them time of little kids, try to jump me and my brother. What they didn't know was it's going to be 30 minutes of fighting in this motherfucker. It ain't going to be just one. We just coming back from California. It's a whole different thing out here. So we went, fought them over here, fought them over there, and the next day to school, we was ready to get expelled. But we were thinking when we get expelled, we go back to California. So the next day, we found out the person who started the whole thing was our cousin. I was just like, this motherfucker. And then I remember when we went to Jersey you beat up a lot of people. I ain't gonna say no names.
There's a few.
There's a lot, but all of them started with you, and you was like, "Hey man, hey, listen, I ain't got no nothing with you. I don't want nothing." And they swung, boom. Cause Shane Smith was another one. Shane Smith was one of the motherfuckers ones who said, "Yeah, do the same thing," and we called each other cousins. And then Shane do it, and they'd be like, "Damn." But I miss my boy Alex though.
Alex,
I told Alex if I ever come back, I want to go fishing, and I want all of us go fishing and sit back and chill and relax.
Fuck yeah, he just took me. I ain't been fishing in a while. He took me a couple weeks ago over out in Burlington to the dam, caught a little rock bass and a little, I don't know, pike or some shit, but it was a good time.
It's relaxing,
we gotta come out there and
right?
do some pier fishing, dude.
We can do that too. You gotta come out here because I would love to show you around. And
I want to, dude. So like, I've always been like, I've only been to San Diego and I love it. It's been years, and like, I just never fucked with California because I shoot guns a lot and they don't like guns, and like the laws and the prices and shit. But like, there's so much about California that I do love. Like, I love tacos, most importantly. I like lowrider weather. Like, I like that cholo lifestyle. Like, there's so much mixed culture that I do like that's in California. The politics of it always just kept me away from like wanting to check it out and like enjoy the scenery. You know what I mean? I was too stupid and ignorant just to be like, fuck that, dude. I'm moving to Texas.
Hey, Ray, tell him we go shooting in the desert.
Oh yeah, we can drive 2 miles up the up the street from my house here and go shooting in the desert.
Don't you got to get all the
We can go to Indio Hills.
Don't you got to get
Hills
the
is basically
California registered guns though, where you only put a couple rounds in the magazine or like shit like that?
Yes, but that's not what you can ride with.
Technically,
but what they don't know won't hurt them.
That's it. And listen,
in certain places they don't go checking on you. You know what I mean? You just go do what you gotta do and you leave.
Right.
In certain places like major cities, yes.
Yeah.
But when you out in the desert,
boonies.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, they're not.
Especially if you go out early in the morning. It's no one's out there early in the morning.
Oh, sure.
And sometimes, a few times I've actually brought out like old TVs and random shit.
Fuck yeah.
We brought out a helium tank one time. Just to see if it'll go explode.
You gotta bring like 50 pounds of tannerite out there and just fucking give it hell.
Right. No, it's cool. Like I said, whatever. I live out in the desert, so it's just okay. Being able to go out and say shooting and stuff. I've got I inherited both of my firearms. I got a Smith & Wesson 9mm and a Smith & Wesson .357 Magnum.
Oh, nice. Fuck yeah.
Both of them, my dad gave them to me before he passed away. So.
Okay, them are stellar heirlooms. I got a few of my grandpa's, and I got a little arsenal, but I just started doing pistol competitions again last week, so that's exciting.
Okay. That's cool.
Hey, speaking of that, so our last podcast, we had Louise on, and he was saying if you have a certain injury, you can compete in the disability contest, right?
Yeah, if you use a wheelchair in your daily life, in some sort of way, because there's even people who have some sort of spinal injury or whatnots that they may be able to walk, but they can't stay standing, so they had to utilize a wheelchair or in between. Yeah. So so basically he is traveling to Detroit in July.
Yeah, July. We just did this podcast.
July 8th.
We did a podcast. Yeah. I'm gonna see you that link. Because it's a competition that's going on, and shooting is one of them. They play basketball. Hey, they was playing some sports where they had some metal on the wheels.
Rugby.
They was playing
shit, dude.
Real shit. They was playing rugby.
Yeah, they call it blood ball. And it's
Jesus, it should be called that. That's a good
name. They have like these wheelchairs that are specially made for this blood ball event. Like it's basically rugby, and they're like running right into each other and not giving a fuck. And
I'm gonna check that shit out. I played rugby for a couple years at Parkside, and it was it kind of hurts and shit, but that sounds a little more fun and brutal.
Yeah, because you're on wheels.
Hell no. They was flipping, bro. Them motherfuckers was. It was like they're crashing to them, and you would see the dude just. And I was just like, this shit. I was like, yeah, I like this. This.
Yeah. No, it's
a contact sport.
It looks cool for me to watch it. It doesn't really look cool for me to compete in it.
I was just like, I go to this.
Right.
I go to this.
Yeah. If they had like a league doing that, I'd be watching that every week.
Right, dude.
It's probably better than the NFL. It's probably way better than the NFL.
Yeah, you get hit you can hit in football. All these rules now. You get hit in soft tackle.
Right.
I remember they said you said, "Wow," and I'd be like, "There he go," and we'll be in history class. Go ahead.
I quit really fucking with football after I think it was 2011 or something. It was one of the, I think it was one of the New York Giants. He was wearing 9/11 like red, white, and blue gloves, and he got fined by the NFL on September 11th, like the 10-year or whatever. And I was like, well, what are we doing here? And then so like, I still supported the Packers and shit, but I haven't really watched football in a long time, and so I was watching it last season and shit. And I'm like, what is happening, dude? Like the kickoffs, like so many of the rules. I'm like, what are we even watching anymore, dude?
Yeah,
kickoff is trash. Yeah, the kickoff is trash. It's sensitive. You can't.
It's the most fucking sensitive sport on TV, dude. I feel like tennis probably more hardcore.
Yeah. And no, but the thing about too is it's so sensitive. It's almost as sensitive as the NBA with LeBron James. I am not a LeBron. I'm a Laker fan, but I am not a LeBron James fan whatsoever. Like I can't wait till he retires or leaves the league. I am so tired of his ass. But because he's so, he just gets hit one time, like a little fingertip, and he's down for the count. It's like, or sometimes doesn't even get hit at all. He's already on the floor, some stupid shit.
He probably learned from Rodman.
And it just dumbs down.
Rodman
or my biggest thing is Vlade Divac. How he flops just for flopping. Yeah. But it's just
you gotta sell it. It's a movie. You gotta sell it. They gotta sell it.
Unless you're taking an elbow to the face, I don't want to see shit.
That's no more. That's no longer. If it looked like you hit me, I'm just gonna throw the ball like that. That's what it is. Yeah. Now. Sell it.
I learned that shit from. I learned that shit from Mark Phillips in high school playing football because I was trying to cover him. That's not a thing, right? And he grabbed me by like the waist in my jersey where he was so tight to me he couldn't see it, but he was controlling my rate of speed by holding onto my waist. And I was like, what the fuck? I was talking shit to him because he's my friend, but he's like, prove it,
Yeah, hey, they don't know
no
Mark.
No foul.
No, Mark Phillips. Mark Phillips was probably like 6 foot, right? Or
he was a little. I actually saw him. Last year, some shit like that. Yeah, about 6 foot.
Yeah, and Mark was strong though.
Mark was big, always.
Yeah, he was big. We play like solid big people in football. We don't play like when I got to California. I was like, oh, y'all too little. Like, yeah, but when you there, you play Oak Creek. Oak Creek had beards. Oak Creek was on the line like this.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, you a grown man? Are you a grown man? Hey, and then when they hit you, they pull you. That's why I quit football. A dude pulled me one time. I was like, I'm a grown man. Don't you listen.
I'm not trying to get picked up by you dudes anymore, dude.
Yeah. He picked me up and pat me on the back. Good try. I was just like...
He's trying to burp you.
Yeah, he's trying to burp me. I belch. I didn't burp, but I belch.
I don't know if you heard. I think it came out like after high school or whatever, and this was years ago, but I remember something about Oak Creek. They got in trouble because the coach was like picking kids out of different, getting kids to move high schools and talking to their parents and shit, like pretty much offering them gateways to college if they moved out there or came to Parkside.
Wow.
Not Parkside, Oak Creek.
I got suspended. Me and a couple dudes got suspended in San Diego. Remember, I moved my junior year, and I came out here to play basketball. I didn't know there was like 6 kids that did that. I didn't know that was a law. I technically got up and left Wisconsin, but when I got there, it was a bunch of kids ranked in the nation, and we all got suspended. Before CIF tournaments. We got suspended before the tournaments. They let us play. When it was time to do playoffs and go to the CIF, they said no. And we all would just sit on the sideline, and we was getting recruited. I was getting recruited. I still ended up going to San Diego State due to Steve Fisher. And he was like, look, man, this is what's going to happen. You got kicked off. Go to City for a year. You know what I'm saying? Go to a junior college. And then enroll yourself into here, and I'm going to put you on. I said, cool. Did that and got to playing with Kawhi Leonard. And I was thinking to myself, like, oh, shit, like, it worked. But same thing happened to me where I didn't know in high school you can't do that. You know, and I also knew you can't do that. You can't go here and this and this and this, and then boom,
No.
you get kicked
But if
off.
you were just what were you doing wrong if you were just moving to a high school as a kid in a different state? Or did the coach?
Everything. The coach, there was a whole new coaching staff that came from another high-ranked school. He took 5 of them people, and the rest of us came on from transfers, just trying to go to that school to go play.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
But it looked like everybody transferred.
Yeah. Okay.
To go to that school to play.
That seems illegal.
That's fucked up. I mean, it would be. I mean, I might have to look into it, but
I pray for the part of you that nobody checks on. The part carrying responsibilities, the part carrying pressure, the part trying to keep everything together while secretly wondering who's going to help you. I pray you stop believing you have to carry every burden alone. You don't have to have all the answers today. You don't have to pretend everything is fine. I pray you give yourself permission to be human, to rest when needed, to ask for help when needed, to tell the truth when life gets heavy. Because strength isn't pretending you're unbreakable. Strength is continuing forward while being honest about what you're carrying. And man to man, I pray you stop carrying things that were never meant for you to carry alone. In Jesus' name.
%, dude. I mean, that's what it is. All 3 of us as men know that we carry a burden that society doesn't care to talk about, dude. Like, as a man, it don't matter. Move the fuck on, right? But like me personally, I'm here to change that stigma because like we're still human, dude. Like we still have feelings as men. Like we can act different. We can do this, that, or another, but we still get happy. We still get sad. We still get angry, just like women, in different senses. But like I grew up. I forced myself to become this strong alpha male. I joined the military at 18. 9 years later, I got into EMS. I did that for 12 years, and like it took a lot of hard realizations to learn how to try to comfort myself, and I'm still not good at it. And this is something I've been practicing and writing on for a while now and trying to help other people with. And it's just, there's something ingrained in us as men that says we will do it, that says we will carry on no matter how bad it is, but I don't think we need to do it that much anymore. Like I think like the I would describe me and your relationship, Nick, is even though we were always connected, but we were apart, we didn't know each other, but we did, like that kind of shit. Like I could have reached out to you and been like, bro, I'm not doing well, and had that conversation with you. And a lot of people will, but a lot of people won't, and a lot of people don't want to or don't know how. Like I had a buddy reach out to my old fire chief to say, how is Sid doing? Why didn't you just reach out to me? You got my number too. Like we used to be boys, you know. And it's just like moving forward here now, like as men, we're just changing stigmas now, because it's not all about like being hard, because that's why men kill themselves. Like it ain't about that no more. And that like the, you know, opening my eyes to the world of healing medicine really, you know, changed my view on that kind of thing, and showed me the love that's available in the world that a lot of us didn't grow up with or know to find. And this is just like every month should be mental health month, and I don't like to dwell in it, and you know, I try to live in a higher, happier plane now. But on the same token, I've lived through so much of it that I have so much help to offer other people that are still living in it, that there's a way out, you know?
Right. But, you know, also, too, when it comes to societal norms, you know, I've talked about this in my YouTube content. You know, we as a society now accept women of all sizes, you know, of all forms. But you don't you still don't get. We still don't have to accept the men for all again the same standards, right?
Right.
So as again, I made some content about we accept fat girls for what they are. Before it was like being caught with the fat girls like being caught on a moped. It's fun to it's like being with the fat girls like being on a moped. It's fun to get caught type shit. But at the end of the day, it's like you have singers and rappers who talk about being with big girls. Accept all sizes. Now you got fat girls who have the most fucking confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Like as if they're fucking skinny, which they're not. Like
thanks to fucking Lizzo, and now she's fucking skinny.
Right.
That
who's skinny, right?
Hey. What's the one I go with Rich Paul, the singer? She did the same thing. She came out big as hell, and all of a sudden she's skinny.
Yeah.
All them fucking
Adele
bitches.
was that
That's what I'm talking
way.
about. Yeah, Adele came.
Adele was that way.
Yeah,
Jennifer
Adele.
Hudson was that way. They all got skinny, right? But they all promoted the body positivity and all that. But again, when we look at men,
came out.
right? But when we look at men, they don't actually give us that same energy.
No, because
and if you are a big, if you are a big guy, you gotta have a beard, you gotta have tattoos and all this other shit. It's like
don't nobody want to be Rick Ross. Don't nobody want to be Rick Ross. Nobody want to be that shit.
I mean,
be yourself.
But then on top of that, there's like only the only thing that makes a man worthy is if he provides or he's gay.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, that's like, I just went through like a fucking terrible divorce, and it's like I gave her like all the picturesque, perfect. We had 10-acre farm, or not farm, but it was gonna be up north and shit like that. And it's like, I don't know what more you wanted provided, but or maybe it's because I was gay.
No, you know what it really was is it's social media.
I 1,000% agree with you.
Social media, and there's too many things. But at the end of the day, too, it's like when we think about if you look at social media, right? For instance, you see all these like women who, well, you're the man, you should be paying for blah 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 blah.
That's where we come from. That's a story. As a man, you're supposed to provide for your family. And when you provide for your family and it don't work out, it's different. But you gotta understand, sometimes women only want that for a time.
Well, you got this has been fucking going on for ages now. Like think about it. Like maybe our great grandma and like the stories we've heard. Like we don't really know shit about our families. Some people are luckier and have more ancestry. But like we got off of boats, whichever boats they were. And like we're completely dissected from our actual roots. Like I'm supposedly from Ireland, but I've never been like, I'm American, you know what I mean? Like that's what I know. Right. And
we all it's fucked up. We all from different eras and we all American. We all are. And
hey, Sid came from the Mayflower. I came off a pontoon boat made out of bamboo. Nate came off of Amistad.
Yeah, that's a story. That's the story they paint. They paint this picture, right?
Right.
And
off of it, men. It's men working hard because who's the best labor force? Men. And throughout history, they've used teenagers and children, and die, and then laws get created from them. But like going back to the 18 or 1900s, I was talking to my grandma about this the other day, trying to help her explain, like I know more about life than her, even though she's like 90. But
hey, you don't know.
Americans, I know she knows so much more than me. We as Americans, though, like as soon as we got here, whenever it was, it's been constant struggles because there was always a battle for money, always a battle to provide a good home. And who can do that? The strong man. Right. And we're still in that same fucking battle. We just have technology now, and they pretend like they're giving us better shit or like we're actually being taken care of. No, it's the same shit. More laws.
Exactly. And a man always got to go do what they got to do, provide for their family. Remember the old military saying? It's not what you could do for your country. It's what you. What was it? Not what.
It's not what your country could do for you, but what you can do for your country.
Yeah, it's not what your. Not what your. Yeah, that was
JFK.
Yeah, remember that saying, and that put a lot of things in people's head to where it was like, I gotta go to bat, I gotta go do this, I gotta do that, and at the end of the day, my thing was, my dad is a Vietnam vet, and when he came home, my senior year, bro, I went to go join the military. Well, I tried, and I tried. He said no. And he one person who won't take nothing from the military. He won't take their hospitals, everything, nothing that you offering me. I don't want it. I just know that when I came home, that I came to nothing. I believe that all these businessmen that make $1 billion should have been towards the people that went and fought for this war or went and did this. And they should not come home to be a civilian. They were a civilian before they left.
Yep.
And they went and put their life on the line, and all you're going to do is offer them a 9 to 5.
And they came home. It took me so long to even look at myself with like mental injuries. And speaking to your, until someone told me, I know that you think you're fine, but you came home a different person, whether you like it or not. You know, and that is I went through it.
And my dad got drafted. He was the last people to get drafted. He got drafted at 17. This how Racine did him. They say, take this charge, or go to prison, or go to the military. And he thought the military was the best option. And when he got there, he realized that he got fucked over. And what he went through in the Vietnam War made him different than the man he is today. And the man he is today is, son, get you a 9 to 5, go work. Make sure you get some money income coming in. Go, make sure you do this. Take care of your kids. Say, he got 2 different baby mamas. He ain't lying to me. Who cares about what is going on? As long as you in your kids' life and you're there for them, that all that matter. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna know this. And also get to, like you said, get to know your family. Get to know your heritage. Get to knowing, because they're trying to erase that. And I believe like family reunions are getting so absolute that you can't get to know your family. I know in my family, I have white cousins. I know this, right? I know I have Filipino cousins. I know I got Mexican cousins. I know I got Puerto Rican cousins. I know this because I get in tune with it. But then I sit back and look at it, and I'm like, a lot of people not. Everybody, like I said, social media fucked everything up because everybody want to be on TikTok dancing.
Right.
And
but also family reunions are very important because if you end up meeting someone in your town or city, that might be your cousin. Doing a lot of this, you're gonna find out. Well, if you would have had family reunions, you would have known who your cousin was.
Yeah, and it also is good to.
Right.
You said what? Louisiana what?
I said, well, if you were in Louisiana, it'd probably be all right.
Yeah.
Or Mississippi.
Yeah, Mississippi. Cause that shit is, I got cousins. That's my cousin, bro. And I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know. You didn't know. I didn't go to the family reunions. You fucking right. You should have went.
Right.
And there's really,
I'm lucky because my family reunions happen in the Philippines. So I don't want to worry about shit.
But that's another thing too. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel like so many more. Same on social media. Like, there's a lot of families that just are still. And COVID did it too. Like, just disconnected people. Like, families. A lot of families, I feel like they'll just like text each other here and there. It's not like they're trying to see each other anymore. It's like.
Right.
What do we do? It's the fear mongering that's created around us constantly, but
right.
They create technology now. You know, in my life, I'm doing what I put on social media than actually in my real life. And I say this in we both got to do better on conversation because I could have reached out to you, and as you going through things, I could talk to you about it. You could talk to me about it,
Right.
and we'll be okay because at the end of the day, we always got this love for each other, and we want to see us both do better. And I might be going through some stuff. You know, Ray experienced it. Like, you know, I did 16 years in the marijuana industry and helped create to where you can go to Michigan and buy weed to the point where I can't get a job in Michigan. You know, they might say I'm overqualified. They did say that, and then they'll say I'll be bored. And they do that shit. You know what it is. Ray know because he's seen it, but it's like you overqualified. But what if I want to bring this certain type of energy there? What if I want to have car meets and bring the community get together and we all as one? Because one thing I learned from the marijuana industry, bro, everybody smokes weed and everybody's different.
And that's what they need to do, because it's like I was talking to my buddy about it, and it's like there, you know, like in Wisconsin, you grow up at bars, dude. Like kids can drink in bars as long as their parents there, you know, like and that's okay. But then, you know, there's not really any like weed bars or any. There's none around in the southwest Michigan area. There's one place across the border where you can, when you buy your stuff, they got, you know, it's kind of like a bar area and they got a couple different seating rooms, but it's not like events like you're talking about. And like, why are you not bringing people together? You'll make these giant events based off of drinking, but you got this whole other audience over here.
Yeah. That can make the city money.
Right.
You tax it anyways. You're gonna tax it. We know that. But if you have like cannabis cup, I've been in a lot of cannabis cups, and it was just like, was it tacos and tequila that just happened in Milwaukee?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But then you got residents complaining about loud noise, right?
Yeah.
Just like that, where you have events like that, and I realized one thing that I done seen a lot of people fight at liquor spots. Then a lot of people fight at marijuana spots. When I went to Cannabis Cup, it was a line so fucking long for food. Nobody was complaining. And nobody was complaining though. Everybody was like, all right, bet, bro. Hey, roll another one, man. We're gonna smoke. And we'll smoke.
Gives
And
you
we
more
got
time
our
to think.
yeah, give you more time to sit there and chill and think. There's music going on. There's people like, you want some free joints? Just sign up. All right, lady, I'm hungry right now. All right.
Well, and that's what, like, I said some shit about the DARE program earlier, but it's like, you're just, weed is like, it's nothing like they told everyone it was. Like, even the feeling of being high is not how they explained, and all this shit, it like, you medicinal effects of it and the effects it makes people turn into artists in a sense, you know, like, there's nothing as a paramedic I've seen, like, I've never seen problems with weed. I've seen plenty of problems with drinking. I've seen plenty of problems with drugs, with fake weed.
Talk about it.
You know?
Talk about it. Because I got a question for you, bro. As a paramedic, what is the craziest thing you've seen? Like, not the craziest thing where you can't discuss it, but something where you just like, no.
You know what a degloving is?
No, I do not.
So, a degloving, it wasn't a hand one, but I'm just going to tell you what a degloving is. So a degloving is essentially just where the skin gets removed, but you can still see the tissue, the fibers, the veins, the bones underneath. I had a cock and ball degloving, so that was pretty cool, and it like his balls and dick were still there, but they didn't have their birthday suit on, if you know what I mean, like this. So he was trying to. He was jumping up and down on the PTO of an auger doing post holes, and it grabbed his shorts, and the post hole digger grabbed his shorts and just like also grabbed some skin, I guess. And we got called for a leg laceration, and we showed up, and the guy's wrapped up in a poncho. And I'm like, "What's up, man?" And he opens it up, and I'm like, "That's not a leg laceration." Like, what? So we'll get him in the back, and I knocked him out with some, I don't know, whatever. I knocked him out and flew him out, and yeah, that was the craziest fun one, probably.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's a 1 in a million. I've done a lot of cool shit. Like I've put two darts in people's chest. I've done 2 crikes where you cut a hole in their throat. I've done compressions, intubated. I've done all that shit a lot. Flew a lot of people out and shit. I've done a little bit of almost everything, but I never assisted in giving birth, and I'm pretty okay with that though. That shit's messy.
No, hey, that's hard. Hey, you had kids, so you understand that's a crazy thing to see.
Yeah,
This is a giving birth.
yep.
But that's wild, bro, because that means you've seen a lot. And,
Yeah, oh yeah.
And you understand from your perspective of what is people going through, and also what is it to be an EMT. Because people don't understand, you don't see this every day unless you is an EMT. Your normal day life is not an EMT normal day life. You know, and it's hard for an EMT to go grocery shopping. You looking at this person about to pass out, or this person, you know, like.
Well, honestly, yeah, that really like. We talk about social media and the programming it does. Well, we program ourselves kind of without realizing it, because I thought I was doing the right thing by joining the military, and I'm not saying I regret it, but that started programming my mind. I became a defensive type of person, right? Because I'm always looking for threats or whatever the situation is. I became more observant, and then I joined EMS, and I become even more observant, and it's like, what bad is going to happen? How are my kids going to hurt themselves? And then we get all wound up freaking out about things. And there's really not much, like the video you guys showed, there's not much care for paramedics, firefighters, nurses, stuff like that. Like, usually through your insurance policy, that's super expensive. Or if you're in a union, there might be a way to get a couple therapist classes or something knocked out of the way. But they're not really, they're there just to stabilize you. They're not there to help you figure things out. And, like, what modern health doesn't realize is that we're animals, and we're spiritual beings, and like a lot of, so like the things that our tribal ancestors would do, they did a lot of dancing around fires. This is called somatic movements. This is how you release the demons in your body. Like there's real truth in this stuff, that like modern medicine wants people just to take this pill, take this pill, take this pill, but there's practices that ancestors from different parts of the world that have been doing for hundreds, if not thousands of years, that kind of already help control these imbalances in the brain and help get these feelings back to normal. And big science, big pharma, waves it off as woo-woo, fake, bullshit, or witchcraft, or whatever the fuck it is, you know? And it's like, people need to start healing, and they're not giving good options to heal. All they're giving is a Band-Aid, you know, not even a...
Right.
They're giving the medicine, not the cure, you know, and there's ways around it, and they just don't support it.
Well, and then also too, when it comes to big pharma, there is no money to be made in heals or in cures.
Oh, right,
You know,
yeah.
they have to continue your dependency in order for them to continue making money.
Yeah.
It has to be the saddest thing ever, is the fact that, you know, you can continue making money off of medicine. There's more than one person that's sick.
Right.
Right.
And that's the thing. Just keep going, bro.
No, go ahead, bro.
I'm just saying, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, if you can come up with a cure for cancer, why wouldn't you? If you can come up with a cure for, I don't know, shit, Parkinson's.
Everything. You come up with a cure for it for a person,
right?
But like Sid just said, pills.
Like
pills.
how much longer are we gonna are they gonna do cancer research? How much longer is Susan G. Komen gonna be collecting money for cancer research? When, you know what I mean? So you haven't done enough research yet?
Well, that's right.
If you look at the structure of these non-profit organizations, all this money, millions of dollars going into these organizations, there's being, you know, if you're the head of Susan G. Komen, you're making X amount, you know, let's say you're making $200,000 a year for being the head of a non-profit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how does that
See,
work
that's
out?
the reason why you're not finding a cure for cancer, for breast cancer.
I do think that I'm naive, I guess, enough to say I think there is a cure, and not like for certain, but I just like all of the shitty stuff that we put in our food, like that
Right.
is, it's all unorganic, and when you put something
Right.
inorganic in your body attacks it, and we constantly do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
High
everything.
fructose corn syrup is my biggest thing. High fructose corn
Yeah.
syrup is my biggest
Yep.
thing.
Me too.
I was even talking to a friend of my wife's who I saw at the supermarket, and she was looking at the shredded wheat because she was trying to get less sodium. And then they were looking at, I think it was cinnamon toast crunch.
Hmm.
I'm like, and I told her straight up, the only reason why I don't eat those cereals anymore, cinnamon toast crunch, Golden Grams, Reese's peanut butter cup, all these ones I loved as a kid.
Hmm.
I don't eat them anymore because of the trisodium phosphate, which is TSP. You can find at Home Depot or Lowe's to peel paint, but they put it in your cereal.
Jesus.
If you look at my coffee creamer, I don't deal with I used to get the hazelnuts and the French vanilla. I don't,
Yeah.
and now I just get half and half. If it doesn't say just milk and cream, I'm not getting it.
That's what I did the
Because
same
whatever,
shit.
right? Because what do they do? They put in that, I think it's called disodium phosphate or something like that, and I always wondered, like, what's the purpose of that? What's the purpose of adding this, putting this additive in it, this chemical basically?
Mhm.
And someone had told me, well, it's a longer shelf life, but if you look at the organic milk and cream only, it has the same exact shelf life. What the fuck's the point of that shit?
Right, that's where like some of the
Red-
preservatives talk about don't make any sense.
Right, Red 40. Red 40 is a parasite that they dry up and crush up, and that's how you get your red dye in your
Yo,
food.
really?
Yeah, it's literally a parasite you can find in Mexico. That's kind of that they hang around the cactus. Let's call it. They're on cactuses, so they collect them and then they scrape them, right? They dry them up, and then they crush them, and then that's how you get your red 40,
Ugh.
or also known as carmine color. But it's shit like that, where that's why, like with RFK Jr. when he was talking about, or when Trump decided, okay, by was it 2027 or 2028,
28, I think. Yeah.
all U.S. foods will no longer have artificial dyes. For that sake, I mean, shit that it shouldn't even be in our food. Like, I'm drinking Mountain Dew. I love
Right.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Well, I do Diet Dew now, right? But what's in it? Yellow 5 and Yellow 5 again. Why do we need to have the artificial colors? And why can't it just be as clear as this?
Right.
I mean, I'm tasting cherry limeade in this thing, but it's clear.
But the other issue, though, with going diet or with those, I think probably, is the fake sugars, the aspartame, the
Right.
shit like my son's got a genetic condition, and so he can't have aspartame. Period. And I'm like, well, if my son, who's still a normal human boy, can't have it, then it's probably not even good at all for my body. And like that's something
Right.
my aunt told me 25 years ago before I was health conscious at all. And so, like, it's a constant double-edged sword because I'm probably like you. My vice is soda. Like, I fucking love soda. I try not to,
Right.
but I love it.
We were just introduced to it like normal. We were just remember.
Especially for us Army vet or us military vets in general. Like, you go to the chow hall in the middle of Iraq. What's the first thing you see? A Pepsi and a Rip It.
Yeah. Dude, do you ever mix your Rip-Its with Gatorades and shit? We would start mixing our Rip-Its with different shit just to pretend we're making cocktails.
Exactly. And then you remember we would get the huge packets of the Gatorade for the 5-gallon jugs.
Oh, yeah.
But you whether it's grape or it's whatever berry flavored, it's all that artificial dye that's in it. It's just something that's like they'll force feed it to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because it's there. You know, like that's
And
all we have. That's all you get.
that's where I'm still holding on with, like you said, RFK getting rid of the dies and shit. Like I'll be straight up, like I voted for Trump's cabinet because I was holding on for RFK because I've been listening to him for a couple years. Now I'm fucking approaching anarchy, but like you know, he said he was gonna get these dies out, and yeah, they have a plan apparently, but he got out one or two of them already, and they're like the least important ones. And then he also said he was gonna get his uncle's records released, which haven't happened. And I'm saying all this to say that what the government does. So, a couple last month, maybe 2 months ago, Trump signed into like a bill or whatever that psychedelic research is going to start coming forward, and that the government is going to put $50 million of investment into it. Not enough money to me if we're giving $300 billion to another country, but whatever. So
Right.
after this started happening, it was to look into psilocybin and ibogaine, and I think just them two, maybe another one. But I saw from another veteran, he's a former pilot. He runs a sacred church in Florida. Pretty much Big Pharma is already trying to interrupt this game and control the distribution of ibogaine. And that's I messaged him months and months ago, and I said this is what you need to be careful about because psilocybin is a fungus that grows freely around the world. Big Pharma can't control that. Ibogaine's a little bit different, and ibogaine's a little scarier because it can give you prolonged QRS. It can elongate your heartbeat, is what I'm trying to say, give you irregularity. So you have to do it in a monitored
Right.
setting. So that gives them even more money in the hospital to sit there. You know what I mean? And it's like
Right.
the government's gonna do everything they can to keep all the power they can in any form of healing. Like if
Right.
weed is if weed, let me think of a different way. If weed is medicine, then psilocybin is the cure.
In 1996, they processed 215 in California that stated that weed was medicine. That's what you had medical marijuana. And
Right.
the reason why the states don't want medical marijuana is because the key word medical. They rather have dispensaries
Mm.
because they can regulate it, and they are regulated far as the medical side. Because when we first opened up, we used to have package dates and when it was cured, and you should get it. Well, all of them got to get it lab tested, and you can see the things, and they try to give you different words and meanings of things. And like I said, CBD is they act like CBD doesn't cure cancer. CBD knocks out everything cancer. And Ray noticed this because we had a lot of elderly folks. Because I had a shop in Palm Desert. I had a shop a bunch of places. To me, it was just labs of study for me from the area and different demographic of people. In Palm Desert, it's a lot of older, retired people that always say they can't sleep.
Yeah.
Right. They're going through some issues like a lot of Vietnam vets with the Agent Orange.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where one guy used to come in almost every other week, and he got sprayed with Agent Orange 4 times within 3 months.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he was going through a whole different situation. And me and Ray, Ray tell you, I'll pick your brain. I'll sit there and I created a whole cannabis thing. Now, see what's connected with your real shit. See what's connected with your customer. A was always ask for them questions. One of the end was never forget. No, C was always educate. N was never forget. And never use the rule of 3. And the reason why was the options you put out. And you have to explain those options. If you come to me and you're going through, like, if you're going through paranoia, you don't need no sativa. You don't want to be up and be paranoid. You don't need nothing. Yeah, you won't.
You want something to calm you down.
Yeah, you want something to calm you down. And some people come in and be like, I want a sativa. And I'm like, so what exactly is you going through? And then, like, CBN was good for sleep. And people be like, I'm trying to sleep. We would show you 3 different edibles with CBN. One could be very, very high in THC, low in CBN. Some could be high in CBN and very, very low in THC. And some people buy those and go home and be like, I slept good. I slept like I did when I was a child. That's what
But see, the thing for me was when they came in for that fruit, that brand fruit
Yeah.
for it was a sleep gummy, but it had phyto phytomelatonin.
Psychophytomelatonin. It was a synthetic melatonin. It wasn't
Right.
real melatonin. And
So let me get off subject, but stay on subject. Right, phyto was something I learned was always just artificial. Something that was just synthetic. So, for instance, right, I used to when I made my turkey chili, I would put the soy chorizo in it. Well, anything with soy has phytoestrogens in it. So you're actually pumping more estrogen into your body as you're doing, like soy milk. Soy milk is packed with phytoestrogen. It's packed with that shit. That's why there's a little girl reported one time, I forgot where she was at, but she was 9 years old, already developing full breasts.
Jeez.
Because of her phytoestrogens that she was getting from, soy products.
Yeah.
So every time I saw a label at the shop where it said phyto this, or I'm like, I would never recommend it. People would come in like, oh, I'm looking for this. I'm like, I don't want to sell that to you.
he didn't say exactly that, but he would do.
Oh no, I said exactly that. I said I don't want.
He will offer you some. He will offer you different products.
I'm gonna give you an alternative to why I'm not gonna sell that to you.
So
because
what's like
it was never an upsell. It was more or less of like, I care more about you as a customer to not sell you this stuff and sell you this instead. And then a lot 9 times out of 10 they're like, yeah, okay, I'll try it out, no problem, because all they want is that good sleep. We had the THC syrup that had different flavors. I'm like, just drink a cap full of this and see how you feel. People will go to sleep, wake up 10 hours later. It's like,
I got my reds.
because it was very concentrated.
But he ain't tell you about THC syrup. Is your ass, if you take too much of that motherfucker, your ass will be high.
Oh, totally off subject. There was this lady who came in. She said she brought that THC syrup to a family reunion, and there's a bunch of youngsters, right? And they all claimed that they were all weed smokers. So she poured that stuff in their fruit punch. And everybody was laid out.
So first of all, I want to explain to you. I got 2 different things here, right? This is not the size of the THC syrup. Don't even go to the top. It was this size, and it was 1,000 milligrams.
Okay.
That's 10 times what you supposed to intake.
Nah, it was bigger than that.
Nah, I know it wasn't. It wasn't that big. It was.
It was bigger than that.
Nah,
it was as big as it was as big as a bottle of Robitussin.
Nah, hell no.
Yes, it was.
What it would do is
what you got there is as big as with the tinctures that we used to sell.
That was a tincture
with the eyedropper on it.
No, that was a tincture. That's a pop the cannon. That is a tincture I just had because I still take tincture. I ain't gonna lie, Ray. Let's just be honest. I got edibles on top of edibles. Ray tell you I have a very, very high tolerance. Me and him to go on lunch, and I smoke on the way there.
Yeah, I smoke on the way back to the shop. Ray, I can't go back to the shop sober.
I can't go back. I can't go back in that motherfucker.
What
sober.
You gotta do then?
Yeah, I can go sober. So we'll smoke, eat some food. I gotta smoke on the way back.
All right.
I don't probably take some edibles.
How much CBD is in the weed out there, like percentage-wise?
Oh, it can be between, I believe, it depends on the concentration, but I think most of it's like 3%, 4%.
It depends. Yeah, it depends what you're talking about. Like, far as edibles,
I'm asking because it's almost not edible, just green itself. Because edibles, you can find it a little bit more higher CBD around here, but all the green, you're lucky if you can find something that's under, like, there's no weed with CBD in it in Michigan and Illinois. Sometimes you can find some with like maybe 1%, but it's usually like 0.08, 0.03, and like, well, what I've been hearing is that like essentially Monsanto, who runs the farms, is who's also running the big high part of the weed operation where the seeds come from, and it's like, are they, you would know this better than anyone, like, are they changing the weed, and I feel like that's not really true, because I feel like a lot of these farms are like not necessarily mom and pop shops, but they are like family businesses. So like, could there be a truth behind the government that legalized it also altering it, making it not as good for us, or like not as potent or anything like that?
When it comes to
like,
well, hold on, hold on, Ray. I'm gonna talk about this one time. When it comes to potency, the problem is people want high THC, and they don't understand you need some CBD in there to actually give you the effect. And the problem is, if you get a 40% flower and it's 39% THC and only got 1% CBD, you're just smoking for no reason. Now, when you get something that's high CBD, because if you say you got it's 40% cannabinoids, right? You understand cannabinoids break down to CBN, CBD, CDC, CBD, THC, THCA, everything. And if you get something that's high in CBD, that's where your effect comes from, is CBD. How you feel when you get high, it comes from there. So when you do get something that's very, very low in CBD, THC really, it's a head changer. It don't really get you, like, you don't feel it. You get high. Okay, I'll smoke the joint, cool. Yeah. Right? But when it comes to, like you said, the medical purposes of everything, when you really smoke, like, we want something like 2 to 3% CBD. Okay. Because if we smoke it, we gonna get it. We gonna feel it.
I would bet you that most of the shit that people are buying, and now maybe the top shelf shit is different, but not from like what I've heard or whatever. But I mean, yeah, dude, you can get some of this weed, you know, it's got the stuff on it or whatever, but you're smoking 70-80% with no CBD in it. Yeah, and like that's common out here, dude. Like that's what a lot of the shops are selling. Something like
your psychoactive comes from the CBD. Your psychoactive feeling comes from that.
Well, that's where I'm not sure on what's going on around here. It's like we're looking.
But also you had mentioned Monsanto, and Monsanto is like, you know, they're known for their GMOs on corn.
Right.
So I can only imagine what they're doing with weed. With most weed nowadays, almost everything's a hybrid.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine with Monsanto controlling, creating the GMOs and basically creating their own weed in a sense.
Right.
That, you know, it may not be synthetic, but it may not be exactly what you're looking for.
Well, and we already know, like, as people that are botanists and stuff like that, you can cross-pollinate, you can remove strands of plants or whatever, like you can pick and choose. So like, I think if I was a multi-billionaire that didn't give a shit about people and I just wanted more money, I'd say, all right, make the weed terrible and sell it in bulk. That's what they want here. Fuck them. You know what I mean? Like
that's what they give. Like you said, when it comes to growing, they cross-pollinate, right? But they don't polygrowth. And when you create a new strain, you got to polygrowth. And the problem is, cross-pollinate, once again, you don't know, like, what can happen. Like, original Blue Dream can't mold. No matter what temperature you put it in, no matter how much water that plant got, you get no fucking mold. And once you get to cross-pollinate, you have to realize what this can do, what type of temperature. Like you can grow Blue Dream in Wisconsin, we can grow Blue Dream in California. At the end of the day, we're gonna get that same high, and because it won't mold, no matter how. The only difference is yours might be a little more purpler and a little more relaxed because the temperature that goes up there. Here we have our shit fluctuate, especially and right now. We both in the desert. I'm in Moreno Valley. He's in Indio. And we go on the 60 freeway, then it hits it. From my house, it goes 60 to the 10. You know, 10 can take me all the way back home. So you go across the 10 freeway. Right when I go across 10 freeway, there's so many grow things that, so many grow operations going on, that's legal growing,
Oh.
not illegal, that's going on
Yeah.
Right.
in the high desert. Well, I ain't gonna say high desert because it gets higher, but where we at, that when it gets 110, they just open up the roof. So when it's winter time, they keep it closed. So we know our weed in February and November is gonna be two different types. But we know our weed in February, like what we get at the end of February, it's gonna last us to the summer. At the end of the summer, we gonna be some nonchalant bullshit. And then we also, because at the end of the summer, you done cut all the shit you just grew from February, March. We know when we sold clones, you gotta start this shit January, February, March. If you want your weed in September, October, November. But don't start it in June. And we used to sell clones, people used to get weed in June, and Red Tail, they come back, that shit cooked. And they'll just be like, reimbursement, we can't reimburse you. It sells like liquor. If you buy the weed, we can't exchange it with you.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And the thing about it is, we always tell people, we educate people on knowing your THC percentage, knowing your total cannabinoids. Don't look at THC. I don't smoke weed at 50% and I didn't get high. I take dabs, I eat edibles, I do all types of shit. So I understand what it's like to have a high THC percentage thing you smoking versus the total cannabinoids. When it comes to the total cannabinoids, you have to understand it works for different things. And CBD works for a lot of people. CBN is sleep.
Yeah,
so if you see it's high in CBN, if you want to go to sleep, cool. In California, we like smoking indicas, so it's gonna be high in CBN. You know,
what's the like THCP, THCV, and I think it was N or something. Well, whatever. THCP, THC, and what are those? Them are other ones I've seen.
Those are the part of a medical side, but they're not part of the psychoactive side, and also what you're gonna feel. You're gonna get that in there. When you get a test, bro, I've been testing shit for years. When you get a test, you're gonna get every breakdown of cannabinoids, and it's like 42. Right? And that's what adds up to the total cannabinoids. So when people say THC, that's one cannabinoid out of 42. CBD
I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's different cannabinoids. So you want a high THC and a high CBD. That's why CBD is so meaningful. Also, your weed can create CBN if you let it sit. So say if you had 1,000 pounds and your weed was fresh, and you know how weed turn brown, and people are like, oh, that shit disgusting. You don't know how long that person been having that weed. So you might smoke something when you first got it, and it was fresh, it was sticky, and it was everything, but it wasn't high in CBN and CBD until you let it sit longer. That's what they call the cure process. People understand how to cure their weed. They think you put it up in a jar and burp it every day, and then once you can break it down and smoke it, you want to cure certain weed. So if you cure it longer, it creates CBN. But if you cure it about 2 to 3 weeks, about a month and 4 to 6 weeks, it creates the THC level, which is what everybody want to get high on. That's why you see so many people smoking blunts at the blunt. This is not crack. Yeah. This is not heroin. You ain't supposed to smoke weed blunt after blunt, man. Yeah. You supposed to smoke a blunt, sit and let it settle. Weed lasts for a long time. But if you're doing blunt after blunt after blunt after blunt after blunt, and you're getting high THC, you're not feeling no effects because it don't have the other 41 cannabinoids inside of it. That's them using their chemicals to only focus on THC.
I would say too, like I would argue a lot of people didn't really even start knowing anything about cannabinoids around here since maybe the last year, maybe two, and a lot of people still don't understand it. And like the only time I started seeing it was one of the places in Michigan, and it was more for the dabs and shit like that. They were saying the butters or whatever have more of the cannabinoids in them, and they had lists and shit like that, and so it just seemed like that's where they put anything, not the weed. Some of the gummies though, still,
Yeah. I got some gummies right here. I can tell you right now. I got a THC 5 milligrams, 20 pieces in here, 100% THC, 100% CBD, and less than 2 milligrams, which is total 20 milligrams in here. And the reason why it says that is because CDC is good for diabetics. It's also good for your nervous system and being paranoid.
Oh, okay.
So me having CDC as I eat an edible, it made me less paranoid. And the reason why is that is because shit, goddammit, I don't want to be. I'm paranoid already. So as like you've been through so much shit in your career, in your life,
yeah,
you probably don't even need CBD. You probably need CDC, and they they don't tell you about that particular cannabinoid because Big Pharma, once you figure that out, they gonna know oh shit.
Well, they want to keep you paranoid, right? But no, that I didn't even know CDC was one, and that's like that does sound much better.
Yeah, it's also good for women with their cramps. It works in so many different ways. Like my uncle
different
had
receptors and shit.
Yeah, different receptors and everything. Like tinctures, you put underneath your tongue. You don't.
Yeah.
You want to put underneath your tongues because it hit a different receptor. Edibles hit a different receptor. When you smoke, that's a different receptor. And as you continue to do it, it hit different receptors. I just been in the game for so fucking long, bro, and I've been out doing this shit for so long that it's like second nature. But it's kind of hard, to talk to somebody back home and I say this shit, and and they just like, Nick, I don't know what the fuck you talking about, bro. You gonna get me high or what?
But see, that's the thing though, is they're not trying to hear the technical aspect of weed. They just want to get high.
Yes.
Right. That at the end of the day, that's all they want. Whereas they're not like you or me or Sid, where like we want to know the breakdown of how things happen.
Yeah.
Right. Because at the end of the day, there's more of an interest in weed than just getting high.
Exactly.
Right. See, and it's another thing too. That's the reason why. Remember, we've always talked about this. Whenever you've hired somebody to work at the shop, all they focused on was the fact that they're selling weed and they may get a discount on weed. They didn't care about education. They didn't care none about any of that shit. They didn't even care about the business and showing up on time or showing up at all.
I work at a weed shop, bro. I come in high. I come in high. I could be
right.
Work at a weed shop. I could be late.
Yeah, and that was the joy. I work at a weed shop.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you gonna do now?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it just But we're talking about mental health, and we're talking about men's mental health, and clearly all three of us are advocates of that. We're advocates of smoking weed for our mental health. Right. I just recently had a conversation with someone that I was in Korea with, and I was at Fort Polk, Louisiana with. It was a female, and she was trying to go in on my work ethic, right? And as far as I'm concerned, I never considered myself, Captain America, super soldier type shit. Like I was never. We go on a 10-mile run one way. I'm way in the back of the whole pack because I'm not a runner. You know what I mean? I just never could keep up. But then at the end of the day, when I went to Iraq, I never ran. I was a Mark 19 gunner. I couldn't run. I'm stationed in one spot. And this girl, she never deployed. She got pregnant, stayed back in at Fort Polk, and her and I were going back and forth about how I told her, "You never deployed. What the fuck do you even mean?"
Yeah.
I just want to. I'm not even calling names out, but I was getting a message from an E. Well, he was an E4. He turned to E5, I think, while we're in Iraq. And he was so I had an LT that sent me out to this one spot, It was May 15, 2005. We were in the Al-Anbar province of Iraq. We were crossing the Marine Corps over the Euphrates into Syria. And you can look it up on there's a Wikipedia about it. It's a Battle of Al-Qaim, and also called it was known as Operation Matador. But it's LT because of course I'm a combat engineer. I'm a 12 Charlie bridge crew, so I have females in my unit, and there happens to be a female LT who told me to go out to a certain distance in my 5-ton. I was supposed to look scary. That's it. I'm not allowed to fire back. I'm on a Mark 19, one of the biggest guns that they give you mounted on top of a truck. I'm supposed to look scary. That's it.
Even back in 05?
Back in 05, yeah. So there were Marines all along the little perimeter there. That's the reason why I wasn't allowed to fire. But eight mortars came down on me. The closest I want to say is about 25, 30 feet away.
Oh, damn.
And here comes a mechanic from our unit. He was on the 50 cal. And this guy was one of those guys. He was a Marine at one point, I guess, and then he transitioned to Army. And he called it in. LT, I've got a clear shot of the guy throwing mortars. Oh no, you're not allowed to fire. You're not allowed to fire. Then he got on. He's like, well then LT, you need to pull us out because it doesn't make sense for Bondad to be here sitting like a dead duck. And
right.
That's one. You know what I'm saying? But it was a female that tried to get me killed, and it was a male. It was a man that got me to safety. So when you talk about work ethic. When I talk about how the whole point, the whole reason for the conversation was the fact that when I go to work, if I work with a bunch of dudes, we have a good time, we're playing music, work is smooth. When there's women on the cook line with me, drama. And you're on your phones all the fucking time. So she didn't like that. And she's like, oh, you have a chip on your shoulder. You have poor work ethic, just like you're in the Army, blah, blah. So what really got me, because I pride myself on my work ethic, right? So I'm like, how the fuck? You didn't even deploy with us. And the entire time you're in the Army, you complain about what you couldn't do or what you had to do. I mean, most females I knew in the Army, they got away with just the fact that they're a female.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't have to do shit.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do a damn thing, and it really irks me. But I don't regularly call people out. I don't regularly call shit out like this. But when you turn around and you act like you were such a great fucking soldier, when you were a combat engineer and they made you do S1 work, which is basically in the office, fucking filing paperwork, paper pushing. Who the fuck are you to talk about me?
Right. Well, that's like I had.
Anyway,
I had some.
I got a whole thing where he's telling me about this person didn't deploy at all. He's got the whole list of who was able to wear our combat patch. So here's my proof. I'm not gonna call out names, but you know who you are, bitch.
I got a question for you. When you were mortared, however many times throughout, did you ever, when you had one maybe close enough, did it ever, once it hit, did it ever feel like time slowed down?
No.
No? Okay.
You can feel the impact of the explosion, right? So you kind of, you know how you see the wave?
Yeah.
You can actually feel the fucking wave hit your chest.
So I only had two mortars relatively close, but one of them, I was just in my Connex box, I was taking a dump, and the fucking bomb went off behind us, and I don't know if I wiped or not, probably made a man pond, I don't know. It wasn't where like I knew I was gonna die.
You gotta get up out of there, bro. You gotta get up out of there, bro. It don't matter what it is. You wipe it out. So a bomb blow, you should go be like this. Let me Get your ass
Yeah.
up out of there, man.
Well, I mean, like the
Live.
way it is over there, we say what they say, inshallah. Because like, if a bomb, whether you go into one of them bunkers they build for you out of concrete, like if a bomb goes off by you, you're gonna die. Like, period. And so like, I knew it was far enough away that like whatever. So what happened though? I'm sitting on the toilet and like as I felt the explosion go off, dude, like the whole everything just was slow rocking back and forth, and then it all kind of just came back to, and I was like, holy shit, that was weird, like, fuck.
Yeah. No, you know what? Out
You gotta
here,
fall on the toilet though, huh? You gotta fall on the toilet.
Oh no, I don't.
Out here, I
Nothing
was
disrupts
in
my toilet time.
Right. No, out here, I was selling cars out here, right? And, the car dealerships that I have near my house are right off the freeway. There's a little desert nearby, like open lots with just nothing but sand or whatever. And a truck was passing by on a freeway, and I guess their tire exploded. And here's boom! And right away, my whole mindset just turned, because I looked down and all I see is sand. I'm like, it brought me back to Iraq and the IEDs and the mortars and all that shit. And my ears was ringing as if I'm in the convoy, and I'm looking down, and then I had to snap myself back into fucking reality. Like, I'm not there anymore. But it sounded exactly like an explosion from a mortar, or for, like I said, an IED. We've had convoys too where IED would go off and you see shrapnel holes in our. We built bridges, right? So we had all our parts and stuff on the back of trucks. Yeah. And you can see all the little holes where the shrapnel hit. So that
it's crazy.
But no, I've never felt the time slow down. Yeah. I mean, not like when I hit the fucking strongest indica, and it was like.
That's so crazy how like that little PTSD, not even PTSD, but like just how quickly your brain can just go back to another area. I remember when I was working for Bell Ambulance in Milwaukee, and I wasn't even in like a bad part of Milwaukee. It wasn't the best part, but there was just a smell, and I was like, I'm in Iraq right now. But I knew I could see that I wasn't, but I really felt like I was, and I've had that a couple times on and off,
Yeah.
At home, you had that?
If I smell diesel.
You smell diesel, that trigger, that's your trigger? Like, it's something that happened like that?
Yeah, if I smell diesel, it reminds me of JP8, that we used to Humvees and our trucks and stuff. There's certain smells, just all kinds of shit. I mean, even hearing babies cry sometimes brings me back. You know what I mean? Because, there's times where we've had kids trapped, I mean, a lot of shit, bro. But there's a lot of things trigger it, But then, as long as you bring yourself back to knowing, wait, I'm not there no more, this is where I'm at here now, I hate watching movies where, like, people get stuck in a situation because they're PTSD, but it's like they're stuck way too fucking long. Well, and then on top of that, they got the army uniform with the fucking thing all up to here and shit. That shit pisses me off, bro.
They go back all the way to when they was born and shit. I'm just talking about. They be like, boom.
Yeah.
Remember when we was adolescents?
I know you dealt with enough of them, but it's like there's so many people in the military or that got out that like claim disability when they never deployed. They never fucking did, and then they'll come home and they'll go to the bar and talk about all the cool shit they did and blah, blah, blah. Like, for me personally, it took me years to even go to the VA to seek treatment or any form of anything because I was like, there's people worse off than me, dude. I don't need, take care of the other people, blah, blah, blah. And we haven't even gotten close to it yet.
Yeah, well, and then that, I did have that mindset in the beginning. Because when I came home in 2006, I got myself a job right away. I was in I was living in Orange County. I worked at Lowe's in Huntington Beach, and this old guy, He's like a Vietnam vet, and he was 100% disabled to the VA. And he kept telling you gotta get the disability. You gotta get, I'm like, I'm not disabled. It's all good, whatever. You know, no big deal.
But that's
It
hey,
wasn't
you
till
know
later
you
on.
know that's the truth though, bro. You know that's what you know what when I was out here and people was going to the military and telling me to join, it was about the benefits. You know,
Right.
and I'm coming from a father that came from, you know, being a Vietnam vet just like y'all. My dad to this day will not go get his benefits. I can't talk him
Right.
into it. I can't. It's a no, and he worked his ass off.
He
He's
could get
71.
thousands a month, dude. Thousands.
He don't listen. I
I
told
know.
him.
I
See,
get it. I know.
this
I know.
motherfucker. Yeah, this
And I
motherfucker.
respect him for it too.
He won't do it. He stand on no, and the reason why I accepted it is because you know where I come from, and he showed me you got to work for it, son. I done did all this already, and I'm telling you, even if you did go to the military, you would still come home and be this. And you think I want you to go there and think this, and you gonna come home, get it now.
Yeah.
Get your ass up. Basically, get your ass up and get a job, man. Go ahead, go do it.
I went to so many people, and I would argue with your dad for you because I don't care. Because the way I look at it now, and I don't mean people that just went to basic, but like it took me a long time in hearing that I came home different than I was to actively start putting out benefits, and I got denied the first time, so I gave up. That was for a couple of years until I had my son, which I shot for a 30% rating, because then you get 5 dependents, get college for free, and then there's some other benefits or whatever.
Right.
And I just like what I tried to tell other veterans now, especially veterans, it's like, look at all of the financial waste our country continues to do. Get your
Right.
fucking piece of the pie. It's like,
Right. And that's the same thing I tell people too. It's like if you know, especially when you look at other branches like the Air Force, like the Air Force guys when I was in Iraq, they literally would call themselves a chair force. I wouldn't think any of them would have any sort of service connection for disability, but a lot
Right.
of them are getting it. And
Right.
the way I look at it is like, don't worry about other veterans who you think should get it more. Worry
Right.
about yourself. Because at the
100%.
end of the day, they're going to get it and you're not getting shit. Are they really going to worry about, well, I deserve it, I need this, I need that? No. Worry about yourself.
Right. And that's what, like,
No,
I
if you
think
get
it's just, it's such a gateway to help veterans out that right now, 100% depending on your dependents or whatever, is around
Right.
$4,100 a month. So, like, that is,
Yeah.
I mean, that's so much, that's not so much money, but it is a lot of money. It is the ability for, there's so many veterans right now that are our age that are still working a job that they're essentially like halfway through retirement or whatever yet, and they're just going to keep living the American dream, working hard every day to put money away, hoping that a fucking retirement account's going to be there in another 10 or 15 years. And it's like,
Right.
bro, take care of yourself, take care of your family. Like, you can keep working your job, work on your benefits, get them benefits, because they're just going to help you. Even if you put it away, you could start building that company you always wanted to build, or doing that thing you always wanted to do. Buy that fucking saw and get into woodworking. You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, like, you're giving an opportunity, and that's beyond you signing up for it and saying, well, this is what I signed up for. Like, I don't play that fucking game anymore, because there's a lot of shit I didn't sign up for. Like, I did sign up to die for my country. I didn't die to be in pain and agony for fucking the rest of my life. You know what I mean? And so many
Right,
veterans
right.
didn't do that. And people that say, you know what you signed up for, like, that's the weakest fucking shit you can say about military, police, fire, you know what I mean? Like, all that shit. And
Right.
we didn't know. Like, I don't know about you, but, like, my grandpas were in, my one grandpa was Korea, and then my cousin joined out of high school, and, like, so I wanted to follow the family. I didn't really have a plan. My family wasn't going to put me into college. I wasn't that smart. Football didn't work out because I was fighting. And
Hey, you put hands on it though. Keep it real though. Fuck that. They was trying you. I ain't gonna sit here and act like you started the fucking fights. They was trying you, my boy. You was like, nah, stop playing with me.
I used to hold my own back in the day, and then it was that senior year that I was like, I was good. I wasn't good at. I was okay at football. I was good enough to go D3, you know. And then I got into a fight and suspended the whole season. I'm like, well, fuck, dude. And then same shit like your pops, dude. Would I have like a trespassing ticket or some like stupid bullshit tickets that recruiter went with me? All right, he's joining the military. Fucking.
AKA drafted.
No, I enlisted.
Right.
I enlisted at 21, and I've always had an inkling that I wanted to enlist in the Army.
Yeah.
Just, movies and whatnot. So my dad immigrated to the United States in 1977. My mom immigrated in 1975. And my dad was big into like, those movies like Platoon, Full Metal Jacket, so on and so forth. My dad was a big gun nut too. I inherited those two pistols from him, or the revolver and pistol. But he had the AR 15s before they became that popular. You know what I mean? He had, I believe, 2 of them, 3 of them, anyway. So, he was really big into that. My dad only had one hand, also. I'll say that.
You never told me that.
Right.
Hey, you never told me that. See that shit like.
Oh, he used to beat me with that left hand, bro. But
he was there.
Right.
Stop playing with me, right? Oh, hey, Churro, move again. Churro, move again. I swear to God, move again, Churro.
But he was. So when I enlisted, that was one of his proudest moments when I enlisted, right? Because again, he was. I still to this day say that my dad was patriotic. Like he was, but a lot of my family members, your dad was. My dad was so fucking patriotic when Black Lives Matter was burning down shit on Melrose. My dad was like, "Don't you wish you were still in the army so you could shoot these motherfuckers?"
For what?
But, huh?
I said for what? 'Cause some of this shit becoming like every day. It's always a damn movement now. It doesn't matter. These movements happen every other week. You take a shit you take a shit and somebody heard you fart and they walk in and be like, "No farting in the bathroom." Wait, what? Like,
fart lives matter.
Yeah, fart lives matter.
Well, that's part of, remember we were talking about earlier about just like dividing us as people by race, by class, by fucking whatever, and it's like, like I said, partially an anarchist these days. Like I've always been your not stereotypical right winger, but I've been slightly more conservative. But I grew up with slightly liberal parents, so I always kind of just believed in humanity too and making our own choices. And I don't remember where that was going. My bad.
You was going the right way. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you you was going.
We're talking about dividing people. Every time there's some sort of like right now we have all these no kings protests.
The left tells us what we need scientifically, and then the right is like, let's be mad at these people. Like there's no, if we would just come together and realize that like the left doesn't always, but the left makes up more of the smart people, and the right makes up more of the hard working class, typical pro-American people. And it's like if the smart people teach the not as smart strong people, and the strong people protect the not as strong smart people, how do we come together as humans? Like it seems like a no-brainer to me, but people just want to listen to their figureheads that literally don't fucking care about them or what their gas cost is or about their grocery bills or
Mm-hmm. Right. There was this one girl that once said, "Tell me something that we can both agree on." And so the guy comes in and says, "Pizza tastes a lot better than dog shit."
He's stupid.
But it's like, that's what I love about humor. Humor brings everybody together.
It was really about
conversations bring people together.
And that's the thing. If everybody get on here and talk, really, 3 different races get on here and have a great conversation.
Yeah,
you can't say
when it comes to politics. If we can talk politics without bringing in a certain candidate. For instance, everybody who hates Trump, bring me a conversation that you don't ever talk about Trump. Let's take Trump out of the equation. What do we have? Let's take, X amount of politics. What do we have? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
because there has to be a happy medium somewhere.
Yeah.
You can't Trump. Okay, so let's take that motherfucker out of this. What do we have? What can we talk about? Let's talk about how beautiful your blue hair looks.
The thing is this: if that's your lifestyle, you only complain about that. That's your excuse. At the same time,
well, then that's just it. So what other factors of your personality exist to where we don't talk about the same shit that's basically dividing us?
Well, one thing is that we gotta realize we're dealing with people that only focus on that, and they not looking out to see what brings us together.
Right, other people.
Yeah, we all go to baseball games, we all go to football games, we all enjoy sports. Why can't we all enjoy it together? Because they want to feed into it the negative, which is that these people, let's just say uneducated, or just didn't live life, or just didn't open your eyes. Maybe you just kept following what you was taught and never open your eyes to realize none of this really matters.
Right.
Because at the end of the damn day, as a race in America, we all have some particular type of friend. And it clearly shows here. We have a certain particular type of friend to where we all are alike. And we all thinking the same thing. Mm-hmm. But it's hard for get people to discuss it. Because they say, what they always say, don't talk about politics, religion, and something else. But at the end of that's what they always talk about. Don't talk about politics and religion. So therefore, you can never speak how you feel about politics. You can never speak about religion. You get judged. But you can say, fuck whatever football team and basketball team, and it's high. Right?
That's true. And now, like, the way I am now is like I'm not religious, but I am very spiritual. My whole awakening and everything I've learned has kind of come to me through the universe and my years of my different trainings, I guess, and just the rabbit holes I enjoy reading. I don't really practice any religion. My closest thing I would say that I align with is Taoism, which is Eastern religion, similar to Buddhism, but not the same. And I still fuck with the Bible. I still mess with Jesus. That's my homie and stuff like that. But like, I firmly believe now that it is a very, very spiritual world that we
don't want to talk about. I know what you're talking about. We don't want to explore
all that shit. Like our dream realm, our imagination, like that is our real power of ability. Because once you sit in there, like the philosophy of your mind of being able to sit in your own thoughts and control your forward decisions, and like how the universe synchronizes with you when you start living in your true self. Like, them are all messages that Jesus was talking about. People just don't read it that way because we're so fucking simple that if someone on the news or the president doesn't tell us, we don't believe it, you know? Like, Buddha said the same shit Jesus said. People wrote shit Jesus said thousands of years before Jesus was ever someone, because these people that whatever caused them to sit in their own thoughts enough, to meditate enough, to get high up in the mountains enough, or high on substance enough, like there's a connection to a universal energy. And I do think it's more of a collective conscious. Like, I think we're all kind of co-creators in this universe. I don't know, I'm assuming there's still a bigger energy that created all that, but either way, if we're all co-creators, then obviously that's knowledge they would want us to not know.
Yeah, and also you gotta understand, bro, energy never died. You was somebody in your past life. Yep. Yeah, it never dies. They say you go to hell or heaven. Huh?
No.
Yeah. We need to get you back on this podcast, bro. We need to. We can do more.
I'm down, bro. I'll talk about this shit. The spiritual world, I'll talk about all day.
We can, because I believe in it too. I just don't believe is who they say and what the story is. I just don't believe it. I believe there's a lot of positive energy and there's a lot of negative energy, and there's things that, like you said, that goes on that became manipulated. That sometimes we all have the same. Like I said, we all have the same similarities. I ain't talked to you in years, see.
Right.
And you knew me as a kid, right? And Ray know me as a adult. We sit on this podcast and we do this. All the time. We talk about, we go back and forth like this. And it's not like nothing negative, because we're not arguing with each other. We go
Right,
back
right,
and
right.
forth about what's really real and what's not, and what's the truth. That's what we before we
Yeah.
even came up with a name, we was like the people called Kings of Truth. When we looked it up, somebody else had the podcast name, so we just put the last of it. Man, we was thinking to ourselves like, shit, let's just talk the truth, bro. Let's get on here and let's find people that's actually thinking about life and not
Yeah.
Right.
doing the latest TikTok dance or doing this. And we all got lives because we all gonna go through shit. But
Right.
you know what I'm saying, we all gonna talk to each other amongst each other and be able to free it out to understand what we all go through. But the real thing
1000%.
is, what about the other hidden agenda? Because I feel like this. I don't give a fuck nobody say. Less than 400, 500 years ago, they was living for free. We have to pay rent. Why? They was living off the earth. We got to pay to live on earth. I don't want to pay to live on earth no more. I realize that bill is too.
Why?
Yeah, why? That bill is too expensive.
So you know how Rome fell?
Yeah.
We're kind of Rome right now, right? We're at this teetering point in history where we might fall. And I'll tell you, I'll put the blame on the white man right here. The British and the Vatican Church kind of became the same thing over time. Like the Catholic Army is in this. The Catholics are who settled America, right?
Right.
So the Catholics, because we don't separate church and state, just like you said, we don't talk about church and politics. The church, to me, has always simply been a ploy. It is a different forms of control, and it's really hard to talk about that with other people because that's one of their most deepest ingrained teachings. But it's like, how do you know it for your own truth? Like the people that grow up religious, they're told, believe in Jesus, he's your savior. Well, some people strictly only believe in Jesus. Is like, well, if he's the son of God, shouldn't you pray to God, not Jesus? And there's so many different separations all over. And when I try to tell people to, instead of praying to God, pray to yourself necessarily. It's not necessarily, you're still putting that prayer out to the energy of the universe, but you are putting out your words of affirmations and prayer on how your day's going to go, how you're going to do the next day, how your art exhibit's going to go. Whatever it is, you're putting out that positive vibration out into the air. But growing up, if you want to speak your own words, what does the church call that? Witchcraft, right?
You the devil. You the devil.
There's exactly, and there's so many practices, especially African, tribal practices that have been called taboo and witchcraft, and from all around the world as well, that are like simple things that are just about caring about yourself. And that is mental health. That is a strong America. That is unity. Because once we all start working on ourselves, it shows like, hey, I want to help you too, because I can. Because that's how we come together. That's how we take down the motherfuckers that are trying to kill us.
That's how the world was built. Well, let's be honest. Who built the pyramids?
It was.
We don't know, right? But we know it was a group of motherfuckers trying to build this motherfucking pyramid together. They already set the things to say, help each other out. We all is one. We all one human race. We all really is one fucking human race. We all are one. And we all supposed to help each other and build the whole world.
Our souls aren't colored, dude. Like, I believe when we die, I think it's a reincarnation type thing, but like you said, energy doesn't go anywhere. Our energy is only what animates our body. Our soul is just whatever the fuck we want it to be. Like, dude, like, just because I look like this and I'm tattooed and I was in the army and I like whatever, but it doesn't mean that like I don't want to be at your barbecue, bro. You know I want to be there. And like I'm trying to be at Taco Tuesday too. Like we're people of people. And that's another way they segregate us, because like, look, they say white people don't have culture, and I will slightly agree, because like
I disagree. Y'all have culture. Listen, I will disagree because they have culture, bro. Like I've been around Zach, Adam, all these people, Corey Saylor. I've been to these functions. I watched the party. It ain't like the problem is. here's the one
Corey
thing
don't count.
he don't. You stupid. But what I'm saying is like when you be around certain people, you be around that. I would tell you this: being around Midwest college parties and the Bond thing, all the shit we used to do, is different when I got to California. When I got here, it was a function. It wasn't a party. It was a function. And it was a whole different thing. And it was like, this ain't what we do here, but what we do there, it was a party, right? And that's what we do. But at the same time, I just feel like everybody got to get to enjoy each other. Because in 100 years, like we discussed earlier, nobody gonna even know who you is. They only talk about certain people. Think about everything else they talk about, right? 1842, whatever the fuck they say. He sailed the ocean blue. Nigga, it was like
1492.
Yeah, 1492. Nigga, how long ago was that? How many people that live on this earth that their ancestry still living? That y'all only focus on that one particular person. Right. It was how many people in this world? Because it wasn't no sense.
Well, and that's what I mean by like what I'm saying, like go to your party, go to his party, whatever. Like that's what they don't want. Like if we got all the races hanging out at one party, going, oh, you got them issues too? Like oh, you're doing this too? Like we're all so naive and ingrained and fear-mongered into believing that so many of the issues that we have are only caused by liberals, or only caused by black people in the ghetto, or only caused by Arabs, you know what I mean? Like, but it's like, no, people do this. People do all kinds of shit all over the world. And the biggest part that they're not fucking realizing today is that pedophile elites, I mean, that's the easiest way to say it, is that like our country's being run by pedophiles, and it's out in the fucking open at this point, and like we're still just sitting here like, where's the Tea Party? You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't do it now. You do it, they gonna come murder. You know what
You're a terrorist organization.
Yeah, you know what they're gonna do. You're this. You know you that. You're that, and they'll wrap it all up. You know, a freeway big as a helicopter to land on it. So if anybody ever decide to do something, why do you think they want to open up the cities? The freeway's only big just in case something. And I learned that from a Navy SEAL. I just so had to be at Hotel Del Coronado, and me and him talking. He said a Navy SEAL had been in Coronado his whole life. He'd been working 20 years in the military. And I'm like, what you do? He's like, that's classified. I'm thinking he joked. I said, tell me something I don't know. He said, so every highway is only built just in case y'all guys try to have war with us. We can land on it. Once he said that, I was like, and that motherfucker ain't lying. Once you go that, wait a minute, you go on that freeway.
That's some shit I also always worry about too, like martial law or some shit like that. And that like there's a study like 5-8 years ago, something about like which branches, like if American people, if you had to go against the American people for the government, would you say yes or no? And it was like most of the Army and Marines said no, and then a little bit more of the Air Force or Navy said yes, and a little bit more of the other ones said more yes, you know. And it's like, well, I would like to think that the majority of the Army would side with their citizens, but a lot of them just simply buckled down and got their COVID shot like they were forced to because they were scared to lose that retirement they were working on, you know? So it's like you signed these fucking ethos and values and this fucking, you signed the dotted line, but you're not defending it. So that's like where I'm always like, where we at, veterans? We signed foreign or domestic. It's been going on how long, you know, and like we got to figure this out together because the time doesn't expire. The body might hurt now, but you know, we already hurt ourselves over there, and our what are we going to leave for our kids right now?
That's the
right. But see, and then that, as we're talking about that, right? We're talking about, you know, people who are forced to get the vaccine when. I mean, there are a lot of military members that, you know, that said, all right, fine, I'm not taking the vaccine, so they got discharged, right?
Yeah.
So then a couple years later, well, maybe a year or two later, then they're basically they don't have any more military members, right? Now they had to do a ramp up of enlistments.
Yep.
You know, but so when I see these, and we're talking about division, we're talking about you know, the No Kings protest, right? We're talking about how Trump wants to be a dictator, blah, blah, blah. Well, what about when we couldn't do shit unless we got the vaccination?
Right.
Like, we weren't able to live freely amongst ourselves as Americans unless you got the vaccination.
Nope. And that's where
That's
I wish people would realize that it's
behavior.
not. Yeah, it's not left versus right. It's them versus us, because one
Right.
side will plan, the next side will do. The next side will plan, the other side will, like, it's just a constant ball and chain of back and forth events that have become obvious to some of us.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
yeah, think about the presidents. We lived through Mr. Freaky Man in the office of Monica Lewinsky.
Oh, Clinton.
Yeah, we was here with Clinton. We had George W. Bush.
Yeah.
Right. And then we getting Obama.
Right.
Right. Then you in again Trump. Then you getting Mr. Sleepy Joe, Mr. Nine,
Sleepy Joe.
Mr. Nine. No, he tired. He tired, man. I mean, he tired. Yeah, he tired. He tired. Y'all don't understand how tired. He can't be at these meetings all day, man. He can't be at this meeting deciding shit. He's sleepy. He may make an irrational decision for us. Drop it.
And, right, yeah, dude. Like, how are we staring at that, going, "That's our leader"? Like, and it's not even
Right.
about. It's not even about whether I liked him or not. It's just like that human is not fit to lead.
He's
Right.
tired.
And if you actually look back at it, right, majority of his executive orders that he signed were not even him signing them.
Because he wasn't there. He was like, he had a
It was
secretary.
the quote unquote auto pan that had signed that shit.
Listen, man.
Well, that's I saw something about that, but I don't look in too hard about it. But
it's 6:30. See, it's 6:30. I'm 87.
yes, sir.
I done ate my dinner, and I'm done. He go to work for 6.5. He one of the people that show up late and leave early.
Yeah, even Trump said you gotta wake him up at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, he's tired. Think about it. He's sitting there like this, and he done did this and this and ass shot, and next thing you know, he ate some food. He had the itis. Fell asleep. He woke back up, signed some other shit, took a shot. We all woke up right back up. He like, come on, y'all, come on.
So, I would like to thank personally Mr. Sid. What was your last name again?
Rigden.
I said Rundgren.
Sid Rigden, but Sid, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Sid Rigden. I would love to, or not would love to. Well, I would love to have you back. If you have more time.
Dude. I feel like we didn't finish our conversation, dude. So whenever y'all boys want me, dude, I'm down.
Man, we do this once a week, and we gonna continue
make you a regular.
Yeah,
I'm down.
Dude. And but thank you for joining the podcast, and nice meeting you too. It's nice to bring in an Army vet. We've been bringing in Marine Corps vets. It's nice to have an Army vet.
Here he go. Go ahead. Here he go. Talking shit.
Nah, just hey, one day we're gonna have to bring Rocky back. And then we brought Lewis in. They're both Army vets. They're both both Marine Corps vets, but they both served in the Gulf War.
Oh, okay.
So it's nice to have someone who served in the war that I served in on the podcast as well. So.
Right, yeah, dude.
And it's funny, I told you I had friends that served in your same war. And I don't know why. The other day I was just smoking. I just hit Sid up. You want to join the podcast? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fuck, Sid done did this and this and this. And I said, I'm going to just hit him up. He said, yeah. And I was like, I'm going to get him on here and let him talk. Let's get on here and let's talk and let's figure out how we can make a segment and make it work.
No, I appreciate it, dude.
My name is King Kushy.
I'm King True.
And we got my boy Sid in the end of the podcast. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring him back. We're going to talk about a whole lot more stuff. And I just want y'all to sit back and wait on it, because everybody don't understand what type of it was supposed to be. It's a lot of truth hidden with you. And at the end of the day, we're going to end this podcast and Sid going to be back.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
Peace out, y'all.
Later.